This is Ferdinand, the cardboard stacker, and welcome to How to Play Spacelion, a card game of battling armies from Solis Game Studio and designed by Solis. This game plays from 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and plays in 13 to 60 minutes. This is a learn in a turn video where you learn as the game plays, in a turn or two or as many needed. We divided this video into chapters. If you want to view a specific rule from the game, you can find the list of rules in the description below. Have a question or something nice to say? Leave a comment. And it would be a wonderful and tremendous help if you can give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks! As the commanding officer to your army, carefully plan your attack to defeat your opponents and defend your towers. Once your defenses are down and your HP taken out, you are eliminated. There's only a limited amount of time, so choose wisely. Spacelion has 4 unique armies to choose from. The Adaptive Leon army with the ability to level up and nuke. The Complex Energia army able to harness energy and tech. The Persistent Kudzu army take root and control the enemy. Finally, the Hidden Vacuous army who attack from the shadows. While there are 4 armies, there is a blue set and a red set for the Leon army. Both are the same except for its color. In this demonstration, we'll play out a game with 3 players. These armies are the Leon, Kudzu, and Vacuous. Go ahead and take control of the Kudzu army. While everyone else is setting up theirs, gather all your army's components, a set of cards, 3 tower tokens, a player board, and 10 Kudzu tokens. First, place your player board in front of you. Then, take 7 unit cards into your hand. The other set will be the 7 hero cards, which are the upgraded versions of your units. Each player selects a hero and places it face down. For you, go ahead and choose Orion. Then, once all the players have selected theirs, reveal it and replace the unit card with the same strength, the number on the top left corner from your hand. The rest of the hero and the replaced unit card are returned to the game box. Since you are playing with the Kudzu army, place the 10 Kudzu tokens nearby. Next, place 3 HP tokens on their spots on the player board. Take the 3 tower tokens and place 1 between you and the player to your left, 1 to the player to your right, and 1 in the middle. These will be lanes that you'll be placing your cards on. Finally, 1 random player gets the priority token, and let's say that's you. The game will play out in a number of rounds. Each round is divided in 4 phases. Planning, placing down cards, reveal, flipping up cards, battle, checking each lane for wins and damage, and defeat check when a player gets eliminated. So let's go into planning. This phase begins with the player with the priority token and turns passes clockwise until all players have a turn. Here you can deploy up to 4 units, and you can also do 1 planning effect. There are 2 ways you can do a planning effect. One is to use the planning effect printed on your board. The other is from a unit's card effect. Your player board's effect is to deploy a Kudzu token onto a lane. Let's go ahead and drop a unit card here. Your Kudzu tokens give you 1 strength to the lane it occupies. It stays between rounds on the lane when you win or clash in battle. But all kudzu tokens on the lane return to your garden if you lose. Let's use it. Place a token on the left lane. You still need to deploy some units. When deploying your unit cards, you can place any number into one lane. Just remember, you only get up to 4 units to deploy each round. Let's play 3 units. Place 2 in the center and 1 on the right. The vacuums now takes their planning phase. First, they play 4 units. Their planning effect allows them to place a void token on one of their units. The void token allows special effects to be activated when it's on a card. They choose not to use it this round. Vacuous is done and now it's Leon's turn. They deploy 2 units. Send a unit to the planning area so they can activate their player board's planning ability to deploy 3 marine tokens. Leon sends 2 to their left and 1 into the middle. Now that all players have gone, the next phase is to reveal. This is done in 3 steps which all players do simultaneously. Step 1. Return any exhausted units on your player board into your hand. There aren't any since this is the first round. Step 2. Move a card from your player board planning area to your exhaust area. There are units played in the planning area, so they move to the exhausted area. Step 3. Now it's time to flip all units on the battlefield. The vacuums do have the ability Shadow Play, in which they will only flip their cards when it resolves in battle. With the cards revealed, the battle phase will begin. The player with the priority token gets to resolve any lane in any order one at a time. This includes any lanes that they are participating in and lanes in which they are not participating in. You resolve the middle lane first. The vacuous players reveals their units on this lane. This reveals the artifact units that, when revealed, opens the red door. The red door is now flipped. Any void effects are now active for the vacuous army. Each lane resolves by following these 4 steps. Step 1. All battle effects resolve. First with the player's unit who has the priority token, and then with each player in clockwise order resolving theirs. Your Kudzu Gardener and Palm Warrior both have battle effects. First, you use Kudzu's Gardener's battle effect to deploy 2 Kudzu tokens on this lane. Then you activate the Palm Warrior's effect. Exhaust 2 Kudzu tokens in this lane to make each enemy player exhaust a card from their hand. Both Vacuous and Leon sends a unit to their exhausted area of the player board. Exhausting a unit means cards in the exhausted area won't be able to be chosen during the next planning phase. The Vacuous is up next to activate their unit's battle effect. The Mari card has an active Void battle effect which does, once per round, move this unit to another lane. Mari is sent to the Vacuous left lane. Now that all battle effects in this lane has been resolved, we move to step 2. Total each army's strength in this lane. You have 5, the Vacuous have 1, and the Leon has 1. Your Kudzu has the most strength and wins this lane. Going to step 3, all losing armies receive damage. Damage is received by the towers first, then directly to their HP tokens on their player board. Since both players have towers to start with, both of these tokens are flipped to their damage side. Finally, in the 4th step, cards get returned to their hand or sent to be exhausted. Armies that have 1 unit in a lane is considered solo. These return to their owner's hands directly. Vacuous has a solo unit, so they return into their hand. You have 2 units, which means they are grouped. Units in a group are sent to their owner's exhaust area of their player board. Leon's Marine token returns to their board. This lane has been fully resolved. Again, the player with a priority token can resolve the next lanes in any order. Let's go for your left lane this time. You only have a kudzu token here. Vacuous reveal an allured kudzu. First, battle effects resolve. The allured kudzu does its battle effect. Change its enemy units to become 0. And its void effect is active. The changed enemy unit becomes limited. You may have allured kudzu become persistent. Looks like your token strength is now 0. For this battle result is your kudzu at 0 and vacuous at 0. This is a clash, so no one wins and neither army's tower gets damaged. Before this lane finishes resolving, your token became limited, which means it will become exhausted. Any of your tokens go to the garden area instead. The vacuous chooses to have the allured kudzu remain on this lane since it has the persistent effect. Let's resolve your right lane next. First, resolve any battle effects. Overgrown Sage battle effect is exhaust any number of kudzu tokens on the battlefield. There are none currently. The Leon's Worker has level up 1 card wherever it may be. Leon can choose to pick a card from their hand on the battlefield or any card on their player board. They choose the mech on the unresolved lane. They search for the level 2 replacement in their side deck and swap those cards, returning the level 1 unit to the box. Now the battle resolves. Your kudzu has 6 and Leon only has 2. You win again and Leon's tower is damaged. The Overgrown Sage and the Worker are solos, so they return to their owner's hands. Leon's Marine tokens are returned to the barracks on their player board. One last lane to resolve between the Vacuous and Leon armies. Battle effects resolve in player order from the priority token. The Vacuous has an effect on their portal ship. Any battle effects are optional to activate, and the Vacuous wishes not to activate the portal's effect. Mari does have an effect, but it has been already used. Now, battle strength is determined. Vacuous has 9 and Leon has 5. Vacuous wins and Leon's tower is damaged. Finally, cards return. The Vacuous lane is grouped, so those units are exhausted. Leon's mech goes back to their hand since it's soloed. Tokens are never considered to be grouped even on the same lane. This is only applied to cards. Q's red door is now flipped. All lanes have now been resolved, and so we now proceed to the 4th and final phase, defeat checked. Any player with 0 HP tokens on their board is defeated. All the players in the game are still at full HP, so we move into the new round. Before doing so, the priority token is moved clockwise to the next player. In this new round, the Vacuous has the priority token, so effects and phases resolve starting with them. The Vacuous first do their planning. Only cards from their hand can only be used to deploy onto lanes, so units in the planning and exhausted area of a player board and on the battlefield cannot be deployed. Vacuous then uses a card's planning effect by placing it in their planning area. Senti's Steed's planning effect: when you are resolving battle effects in a lane, even if you have no cards present, you may deploy this unit from the planning area to the lane being resolved. It's Leon's turn, and they deploy 3 unit cards. Finally for you, you place 3 units cards down. Then you place a card on your planning area so you can use its planning effect to deploy 1 of your tokens. Planning is complete. It's now the reveal phase. Before any cards are revealed, all units in the exhausted area are returned to their owner's hands. Then any cards in planning are moved to the exhausted area. Last thing in this step is to reveal all units. Remember, the Vacuous revealed during the battle phase. Time to resolve each lane. The Vacuous will first resolve the far lane from them. between you and Leon. Leon activates their battle effect first, which is every unit with 5+ strength, including yours, becomes 0 strength and limited. Unfortunately, this doesn't take on effect. Now, strength is determined with you having 3 strength and Leon only having 1 strength. You win this lane and you damage Leon's tower the second time, so it is destroyed. Your Mushroom Mule has the effect. If you win this lane, choose an enemy unit on this lane and switch it to your side for as long as it remains on the battlefield. It becomes persistent this round. Exhaust this unit at the end of the next round. Since there are 2 units on your side in this lane, your Mushroom Mule is grouped and becomes exhausted. The hacker is persistent, so it remains on your side. The middle lane is chosen to go next. The artifact gets revealed and the red door flips open. You have the only battle effect to resolve. Orion's effect is every unit with 4+ strength, including yours, becomes 0. Deploy a kudzu token in this lane for each affected enemy unit. The mech is affected, so you add 1. For the middle lane, the Vacuus has 1, the Leon has 0, and you have 3. You win this lane, and both your opponent's towers are damaged once again, and they are removed. All armies solo this lane, so they are returned to their owner's hand. Vacu's right lane resolves next. First, they reveal their units. It's the Allured Caster. Battle effects resolve starting with the Vacu's Allured Kudzu. They change her Overgrown Sage into 0. The red door is open, so the Allured Caster gets its effect. If this card is solo, Clash. The clash would mean that no army will deal damage. Since this is grouped, the effect does not happen. Vacuus have 4 strength and you have 0. Vacuus wins this lane and you take damage to your tower. Having lost this battle, you return your kudzu tokens on this lane back to your garden. Your Overgrown Sage is affected by the Allured Kudzu's limited effect and becomes exhausted. The Allured Kudzu stays for its persistent effect, but the Allured Caster is exhausted because its lane is grouped. The last lane resolves. This time, Vacuus uses the Center Seed's effect to put it onto this lane. Leon does the Worker's battle effect and level up the Marine in their hand. Vacuus has 2 and Leon has 0. Vacuus wins the lane. Leon's final tower is destroyed. The Center Seed and Worker returns to their owner's hand. There are no defeats. The priority token moves to the Leon army, the red door is flipped back face down, and another round begins. The planning phase starts with Leon. First, they place a card to activate their player board's planning effect to deploy 3 Marine tokens. Then they deploy 2 unit cards. You're up and you deploy 4 units. Vacuus deploys 3 units. Then they send Artifact to use their player board's planning effect to place their Void token on this card. Reveal phase is next. All the exhausted cards return to their owner's hand. All planning cards go to the exhaust area. Then, units are revealed. Leon now resolves their left lane first. Before battle effects happen, they can use their nuke, and they do. All battle effects are negated, all units are exhausted, and this lane clashes. The middle lane now resolves. The Marine has 2 battle effects, and Leon uses the top effect first to move it to another lane. You have a battle effect and you place another token on this lane. You win this lane, so both Vacuus and Leon take damage. Without a tower to defend, 1 HP token is now taken off their player boards. Your Snake Plant returns to your hand. The Marine token returns to Leon's board. Leon's right lane resolves next, and the Vacuus now reveals their face-down cards. The Marine activates a battle effect that places 2 tokens on this lane, determining strength. Leon has 5, and Vacuus has 7. The Vacuus wins this lane. The Queen has the avoid effect activated, which does, if you win the lane and you are grouped with your Senti steed, deal double damage. The last 2 HP tokens from Leon's board is removed. Defeat will be checked later in this round, so the game continues with Leon playing normally. The Queen gets exhausted and Center Steed returns to its hand since it has a relentless effect. The Marine goes back to Leon's hand and the deployed token goes back to their board. The last lane resolves. The Allured Kudzu makes the Palm Warrior 0 strength. With a 3 strength, the Vacuus wins the lane and deals the second damage to your tower. It is destroyed. The Palm Warrior returns to your hand. Allured Kudzu's Void effect isn't active this turn, so both that and the Mari gets exhausted. Now that we have a defeated army during the defeat check phase, a few steps happen. Remove all the units, tokens, cards, and the board of the eliminated player. The lane where the former army used to be combines together as a single lane between the remaining 2 armies. Move any tokens and units to this lane that may be there. The tower tokens in this case are now in the same lane. The priority token is passed to you. The game continues on. The army left standing becomes the winner of the game. If there is a tie, the player to win will be the one who took the least damage, then most towers, then least number of damaged towers, and if it reaches this far, it's a true tie. This concludes the Learn in a Turn video to Spacelion. If you'd like to know more about this game and others, please visit solisgamestudio.com. The Cardboard Stacker likes to thank the designer of the game for sponsoring this video. And I'd like to thank you for watching. For more videos like these, including how to place and playthroughs, come visit the Cardboard Stacker on YouTube and at our website, thecardboardstacker.com. Thanks again, and as always, I am here to remind you to keep on stacking games.